How's it going, YouTube? Spec M Auto is back with another video today. Today is a new car review video. Well, not new, but new to us in the channel. With me today, we have a 2021 Nissan Kicks. The smallest crossover you could possibly get from Nissan is this beauty right here. It's pretty clean, it looks nice, has some nice little styling to it, some nice body curves, and much more. So let's go around this Nissan Kicks and let's tell you a little bit about it, give you a little bit of an introduction and a bit of a tour and a test drive. This is our little base model, and yes, this car is not ours, it's a rental. We used this car on our road trip to Maryland and back recently, so this is the car we'll be reviewing today before we give the car back to the rental place. So this car doesn't have a lot of power to it. It's okay. It has 122 horsepower. It gets about 36 miles per gallon highway, 31 miles in the city. Averaging, we've been getting 33.1 miles per gallon. And the most we've gotten with this car during the entire trip was 33.3, so not much. We've driven this car through the Appalachian Mountains, and let me tell you guys, it did pretty good. I mean, it got us there and back home in one piece. So here's the interior. There's a lot of plastic, as you can see. There's a lot of parts here that you would deem as cheap quality, cheap feeling, hard plastics everywhere. I don't think there's one surface in this car that's not the seat that's soft touch. So it's all hard plastic. So again, don't mind the mess in this car. We just got back from a road trip, so this car's a little bit messy today, but still review worthy, so we'll go ahead and do it today. So let's get in this car here. It has a pretty nice style dash, I must say. Again, with the hard plastics, it's not high quality at all. You even see that right here, I noticed this isn't really flush with the dash at all, like this corner is, so I don't know. This is an interesting material. It's a hard plastic, just like the rest of the interior, but it has a nice texture to it. I do like the texture, and I do like the look, so that's a plus with this car. This car also has, for the base model, I guess, this has wireless Android Auto, wired Android Auto, and I believe it has wired CarPlay. We haven't really messed with the iPhone in this, so I don't know. But here's all your buttons here for the sensors and your traction control and things like that. You got your hood and gas door release, power windows, locks, and mirrors. And then over here, you have your turn signal stalk and your headlights. And turn it on the auto. Over here is your wiper controls. And then on the steering wheel, we have cruise control settings here. And here's a little bit of controls for hands-free calling and radio volume controls, source. Come over here, you got our menu here, the phone button, audio setting, display, fast forward, rewind, back, tuner, and obviously the volume and power. We got AC, heck yeah. And we got aux and USB and a 12-volt lighter. Well, not the lighter, but the 12-volt plug. We got a nice size storage cubby in here, so I like that. Automatic CVT transmission. And then we have our push start button. So here's the start up. Fancy Nissan logo popping up on the radio. Nissan Connect. And I must say, everything in this car functions really well. The response to this screen is actually surprisingly decent. Not bad for a basic Nissan. Again, it has basic AM/FM, has aux, Bluetooth, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Here's over here. Both passenger side and driver side windows has automatic up and down. in the center, we don't get anything. We just get a little armrest for the driver, a cup holder, 2 USB plugs, which is nice. I wasn't expecting this car to have that, but it does have that. 2 very pathetic cup holders. You can't even stick your fist in them. So if you get a Pure Leaf tea or a Brisk tea, you might want to get something else, because this isn't going to work. Got your e-brake, and of course back up here. Now, we work up to here. We have a cheap quality visor. It's just plastic. It's not even fabric like the headliner. But it does have the little extension at least, and a little ticket holder thing, but it feels very half-efforted. I also don't like how this screw is just kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. It's got our little sensor up here for our lights and things. And up here we have our map lights, and this is the control whether or not you want the lights to come on with the car door opening or not. And then likewise with this side, just a cheap visor, no light or anything, just plastic. Again, thankfully it does have the extensions on it, so Nissan was considerate of that. And then we have, for the headliner, it's in nice shape. A little bit of dirt here and there in places because it's a rental, but it has that mouse fur material, much like some other Nissan models have, like the Sentra, for example. Here's our dome light. Has door control options off and just on, period. And we got nice tweeters up here, so it looks like we have at least 6 speakers in this vehicle. Let's go ahead and take a tour in the back. So here's our door panel for the back. Again, with the really, really tiny, pathetic cup holders. So if you guys want cup holders, the Nissan Kicks is not for you. But we do have 60/40 split seats, so that's nice. Adjustable headrest. Very nice. No armrest here. Again, with the nice pattern. I really like the pattern of the seats. It's a base model car. It has cloth seats, but the seats are surprisingly decent for comfortability. Here's the other side on the back. Here's another view of the headliner up towards the front. And here's our dashboard. All right, now let's go ahead and go pop the trunk and we shall check that out. There's a little button in here. You just hit that and the trunk comes up. It is not powered, so do not expect that if you're getting the base model. But Nissan was nice enough to give you a nice set of cloth mats and a spare tire. Oh, there's the manual right there, so that's cool. But they do have grocery bag hook options, baby seat anchors, and then if you were to get a privacy cover, you could put one here. Now, it has some nice space for when the seats are down. So let's just play make-believe here, and that the seats are folded flat. That's pretty decent space. Pretty decent space. And I don't feel like putting the seats up for that, so there's that. Very, very nice. It does have a passenger side map pocket, so that's nice. That's it. Like I said earlier, the biggest surprise of having this basic back seat with barely a cup holder to speak of, besides this here, is the USB plugs. The USB plugs were very nice to have for the trip. I definitely made full use of that. All right, let's come up here, take a look at the passenger side. Now, if you just imagine that all this travel dirt and crumbs aren't here, it's very, very nice and stylish. I do like the seat design, and I do like the dash design. They could have done a better job with materials a little bit in little areas, but nothing to cry about. And there's little sensors on these mirrors. They light up amber on both sides. So if there's a car that is pulling up next to you in the other lane, it'll warn you not to switch lanes because the other car is right there. So there's that. one more little walk around of the Nissan Kicks. And I kind of like what they did with the logo on the front. It has this nice smoked cover that goes over the emblem, so that's pretty cool. The grille design isn't overly ridiculous like in some models. And these, I'm surprised that these have 4 lug nuts. Most cars these days have 5, so it's kind of strange to see a vehicle this new with 4 lug nuts on it. So these are pretty nice meaty tires on there. Super Drive, I've never heard of this brand in my life. These hubcaps, although they're not like black and silver like most cars these days, it still has this really cool and stylish look to it that I do admire. All right, guys. Now let's go check out the back seat space and front seat space, and then we'll take her on our journey of a test drive. There's not much foot space in between me and underneath the front seat. Knee space, it's in the back seat, like it's in the back seat. Granted, both my mom and stepdad, who were also driving this vehicle during the trip, they had the seats pushed up a little further because they like to be up inside of the dashboard. So when the seats are in a shorter setting, it is very comfortable and very roomy. But when the seats are all the way back, don't sit behind the tall driver, because this is what you get. Headroom is okay. Got a few inches in between my head and the ceiling. We got our Jesus handles here, and Jesus handle over there. So if your driver is having a big Ultima energy, you better hold on to the Jesus handle. So thank you, Nissan, for providing those. So now, this is the realistic seating position that I had the seat when I was driving it, and when my parents were driving it. As you can see, there actually is knee room that exists now. Foot room is nice. You can kind of lean back into the seat and chill. You don't even have to adjust the headrest. The headrests are in a good spot. So just kind of sit and chill, have a drink, plug in your phone, play your games. So for shorter people, this is a good vehicle. For taller people, thumbs down. Get something bigger. All right. So this is my comfortable seating position up front. Very, very nice. The steering wheel goes up and down in telescopes, so that's very, very nice. I'm glad they had the telescoping feature, otherwise the steering wheel would have been very annoying during the trip. Steering wheel quality feels okay, not bad, pretty good. I like the feel of it, and I like how it has the little grippies on the back of it that you can grab. Pretty good horn. Everything's accessible, climate controls, radio controls, and if for any reason you want to push these buttons, they're accessible too. These are pretty nice to have. And yeah, the only weird thing is the start is down here next to the shifter instead of up higher on the dash. I would have preferred having it a little higher on the dash, but it's nothing that's gonna ruin the car. It's no different in effort either. Just hit the brake, turn her on, and that's it. Pretty nice, guys. Beautiful reclining seats. Wait. Oh wait, sorry guys, this isn't the recliner. This is the seat pump. Where is this? Oh, there it is. Woo! How low can you go? Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I corrected my mistake. This is the seat back adjustment. This is the pump that makes your seat go up and down. So it has a nice height adjustment too. All right, guys. Let's roll. Let's roll, butthole. All right, test drive time. All right, guys, ready to see a 0 to 60? Ready? 1, 2, 3. This is pedal to the floor, guys. Yeah, Nissan CVT. Come on, guys, let's go. Woohoo! Crank out those ponies. Woo! Let's shut this window so y'all can actually hear me talk. Oh my God, that was not fast at all. It was mediocre. Acceleration was a little mediocre, guys. Now I will tell you guys this during my experience on the road trip. This car is more friendly for suburban neighborhood driving and city driving. I don't recommend driving this powertrain through the Appalachian Mountains. It will do it, but it might fight you a little bit, just to let you guys know. The things that we really noticed was you could be at a stoplight, and then when you would go, it would go uphill immediately. Or if you merged onto a highway and it was uphill, this Nissan Kicks hates it. You will have the pedal to the floor, and it will be much, much, much slower than what you just saw here on pretty much flat ground. This Nissan Kicks has a pretty decent acceleration when you're in a flat area. It does not do very good when you're going up really steep hills and mountains and things like that. So if you are a grandma or a grandpa that likes to drive slow and maybe go exactly the speed limit and no faster, this car will be more than good enough for you. If you are a younger person, like myself, that likes to drive a little bit over the speed limit to get to work or wherever it is that you're going faster, I do not recommend the Nissan Kicks. What would make this Nissan Kicks a lot better with powertrain is if it would at least have the Nissan Sentra powertrain. Because the Nissan Sentra, and I'm not talking about the 2023 or the 2022 model, I'm talking about like the one that I test drove, the 2018. If it had that powertrain with the 1.8 and 130 horsepower, that engine even would be more than enough and more than sufficient enough to push this Nissan Kicks around. But for some reason, despite Nissan assembling this vehicle in the same exact factory in Mexico as the Sentra, they put a completely crappy powertrain in this thing. This Kicks hates any kind of incline. It will scream at you. It will rev up high. Your CVT will act all lost, like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? It's the end of the world. And then out of nowhere, when you finally eventually get to around, say, 60 miles per hour, you know, when you're up to that higher speed and you're moving and this vehicle is going, then it doesn't really have much of an issue with going uphill anymore. It's just really when you're going a slow speed or just from a dead stop, really. So, like I said, quality in the car is good in some places. Quality it could be improved in some other areas. You can definitely tell it's a base model rental. It's nothing fancy. It has your basic readout on the dash here where it tells you your outside temperature, has a little meter that goes up and down depending on how hard you are on the gas. It shows your potential average miles per gallon. And then it shows your actual average miles per gallon, which I said earlier, it's 33.1 miles per gallon. Just below that, you have your gas tank that shows you how much fuel you have in your vehicle. Below that is the mileage to E. So right now it says I have 125 miles until I'm on E. And then below that is your odometer, which right now, as this vehicle is driving, it has 45,535 miles. So this is a little baby. Although I think it has more miles than an average 2021 vehicle because it's a rental. It's been driven across probably multiple states in the last 2 years, and that's why it has 45,000 miles. As a matter of fact, I was the one that was able to roll the car over from 44K to 45K, so that was pretty neat. No, I don't have a video of it because I can't use my camera while I'm driving because my mother was in the car with me and she would have freaked out. So let's just leave it at that. But yeah, this Nissan is pretty nice. It would make a nice little daily commuter. Like I said, for people that are in town or in cities. I wouldn't take it on the highway or the freeway unless you're feeling brave. Features, it's pretty modest for what this vehicle is. It has the nice infotainment system. It has nice tech in the gauge cluster. Like I said, it shows you a nice amount of info. There are USB plugs throughout this vehicle, and it just needs more bigger cup holders, really. That's the big thing, is the cheap plastics and the cup holders. And really the powertrain. The powertrain is pretty rough. Nissan CVTs obviously are known to be pretty unreliable. They go out prematurely if you don't service them. These transmissions are very, very picky with service. So, yeah, if you have a Nissan, if you have it new or newer, I'd say like every 50,000 miles, get your transmission serviced to ensure that the life in it will last longer. But yeah, other than that, general ride quality, the ride is nice. Like I said, I think it's riding on some cheap tires right now, but that's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. But the ride is still smooth. I do want to point out, when I would be riding in the back seat, there are some quality issues that I've noticed. You hear a lot of wind getting into the car from areas in the back hatch and the back doors. So keep that in mind if you are shopping for one of these. The seats, like I said earlier, are comfortable. The fabric is very soft and very nice. I like the patterns in the cloth. And just, I think black interiors are very handsome regardless. So, I mean, yeah, that's it. I recommend it if you are just gonna daily drive it and you need a little bit more room than a traditional sedan. But if you're looking for a lot of cargo space, then look elsewhere. Like, if you still want Nissan, that's fine. Nissan is a pretty good brand. Just take care of the transmission and the mechanicals on time, and the Nissans will last you a pretty long time. But I would, if you want something bigger, I would recommend the Murano or the Rogue. Backup camera on this thing is very nice. I just backed out of this person's driveway back there. The quality of it is nice. So surprisingly, very nice quality camera for this base model as well. It does not have the adjustable lines, like when you turn your steering wheel and you're backing up. It doesn't have the lines that move, but it does have the lines regardless, so you at least know your area of where your car is. Alright guys, let's head back home and conclude this video. Okay guys, one more thing before we conclude today's video. A thing I noticed about this car that was really weird and kind of annoying is how the push start button is down here, but then you get up here and there's a stupid circle here that looks like it'd be where the key or push button start would be. Why? Why did you not put the start button up here, Nissan? It still would have made more sense to just push the button right here to start the car instead of reaching kind of down. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't understand why some Nissan models are like this, but if you're still doing this, Nissan, please, for the love of Christ, stop, okay? Thank you. Alright guys, I'm going to conclude the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this was a good review, and I hope it was informative for you guys to make a purchasing decision, or just simply gives you nice entertainment. Please don't forget to leave a like on the video. Share the video with your friends and family that might be interested in a Nissan, enjoy Nissan content, or just simple car content. And don't forget to ring the bell icon when you subscribe to this channel for more future videos. Stay safe out there, guys. I'll see you all next time.